Hello, hello, hi. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's a bit of a nerdy stream today. I have spent the day doing artwork, so we're gonna just relax and hang out today. But how have you guys been? Hold on, is Spotify not working? Hi Kay, welcome on in. Hmm. The benefit of not having the background music in VODs is simply that I can play anything I want and not get flagged for copyright. So yeah. Okay. We will start by making people's characters. We'll start with Nadia. They Drow Paladin Oath of Conquest. Okay, so big heavy knight. Okay, you've played Baldur's Gate, right? No? I thought you were talking about mods the other day. Wait, so you're installing mods, but you've never played the vanilla game before? The whole file broke? Well, you can reinstall it. Yeah, don't play with mods. Play the game vanilla first, and then play mods is probably what you do after the first campaign. Install doesn't work? Ah, okay. My condolences. Well, you'll get the fantasy experience here. Hmm. Okay, so we use the point buy system. We're just gonna, which means you can select the points of your strength and whatever. So these they're fun class that uses swords. Basically, half of them. It's just a matter of how you want to use the sword. For example, you can. By the way, I never balance the audio. If the music's too loud, let me know. But yeah, if you want to just be some guy with a sword, you can go maybe fighter, or if you want to be sword that uses magic, maybe paladin, maybe cleric. So it really depends. I would start by saying what kind of character you want, and there's a class for whatever you want to do. Someone that can take a hit and hit back. Okay, so that is either paladin or barbarian. Both are played by others. Don't worry about that. Anything that's not covered, I'll handle. Like, for example, if you're all like the fighting people, yeah, if you're all like the fighting people, I'll maybe have an NPC that's a healer, you know? Any gaps in the party, I'll fill with NPCs. Cuz you guys are you're all new. So it's going to be a very it won't be a tough campaign. It'll be more simple and fun. And you don't have to worry about like planning how to run a proper party because just show up and have fun. Make the character you want. Don't think about the others. That's all I'll say. Fighter it is. Okay. Let me change that here so I remember. Fighter. Is there a race of bunny people? Probably. Oh, hi, Julian. Sorry, I'm leaning over to like pet her. She's on the ground. My baby. Yeah, by the way, this cat got out yesterday and she hid inside the engine of my housemate, of their car, and she refused to come out for several hours. I had to leave the window open from the house and my room door and just like hope she wanders back into the house. And she did. In the middle of the night, she's meowing at me. Okay, Bunnyman. Sure, that could work. Bunny. Okay, I'm trying to remember the. Hmm. Okay. Yes, I'm just looking at the numbers here so I can add it into the settings. What else? Okay. If you have any questions about D&D, this would be like the perfect time because the stuff that I'm doing is mostly routine. Hello, hello, welcome on in. We're doing something different today. I'm running a D&D game for our little community here. So a few people wanted to join. We have them here, so I'll just be setting up the characters. Very nerdy stream. If you're a fan of D&D, this is the right place. If not, probably still a good place to be anyway. But hi. Nice. I'm suffering with hair physics. My condolences. I'm gonna be honest. I personally like the physics. Ooh, I just finished a model today. Can't figure them out for the life of me. Do you want a quick tutorial? Yes. Okay. Let me pull up live today. We're switching a little bit. I'm gonna record too. Don't worry. If you want, we have a VOD channel. All of the streams are recorded and uploaded. Right? Wait, hold on. Where is this thing? Hold on. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
don't know how good this Armor King.
Yeah, now about section. There's one that says support our VOD channel. Oh, I hear myself. Ew. I shouldn't say that about myself. Anyway, this is our VOD channel. So I post all of the streams there. It doesn't have the background music. But wait, hold on. Let me open the file. Because I showed this the other day. So let me find it. Yeah. Okay. This is hair. Are you following along so far? Okay. So hair, you do the whole mesh thing. I usually go for something heavy. If something jiggles or wiggles a lot, I usually go for a heavier mesh. So this tool over here, this thing. So what you'd want is at the first point that it rotates over here, not at the end. It could work, but I don't like it. So somewhere here and almost to the end, right? Not at the complete end. Here is better. You go to modeling over here. Now you can't see this window because it doesn't capture in OBS. You'll have to go down to something called skinning. And then from there, the second option, use deformation path for skinning. And then it'll automatically cut it up to do something like that. Now you just go to, you click the individual pieces, right? You see over here on the side, it's cut up into 3. Now you can select them all and create a deformer because it'll give you some error message. It'll give you this error message. Hold on. You can select them all because you'll get this message, right? So instead, what you do is this. You select one, hair F, Y. This is going to be for bouncing up and down. Now, this may be confusing and you don't know why we're doing anything here. Don't worry about it. For this number, make it anything that seems okay. The more, the better it deforms, but too much and the model will lag, like if you don't have the best PC. So just rinse and repeat for all of these 3 pieces. Okay, last one. Now, once all of them are there, you need to create 2 parameters and call it hair physics y1 because we're making 2 of them. Make it a blend shape. Hold on, you can't see this. I keep forgetting. So we basically, oops, we basically create a new parameter, call it hair physics 1, you know, minimum minus 30, maximum 30, and most importantly, blend shape. If you only have the free version, then it's a bit trickier, but I'm just gonna assume you have blend shapes. If not, you can let me know. Okay, replicate, edit. Okay, we finished setting everything up. What you're going to do is select all of the little deformers, create something here. You have pro version for 39 days. Okay, we have no time to lose. So you'll notice there's like up and down. I'd say positive would be going up. So what you do is like that. Get your little deform tool. Like that. You see? And then go to the right side. Sorry, what's this side? This is left. Go to the left side, which is minus 30. Do the opposite. Stretch it down. And use this to kind of squish it in. You see this? Now, here's an important thing that I didn't know before. If you hold like a position, if you hold Control Shift C, you copy this position. So if you like put it, if you go to your second parameter and go up, if you do Control Shift V, you just paste it. You make them identical, right? So this one up and this one up is the exact same thing. Now just copy it going down as well. Control Shift C again. Control Shift V to paste it. If you do Control C, you're copying the little image, not the position. Control Shift C to copy the position. So we have up and down. And when we did the little thing earlier to use the path for skinning, we can make it rotate like this. Now we click on this thing that says modeling and go to physics settings. Now we have our hair here. What we do is we click add. This is going to be hair sway. So hair sway. Sway is left and right. Now I have like a presets. So this is, hold on. Do you see over here? Input, we're only gonna need X. Input X, position 50. All right. At the bottom here, I have some settings for mascot jiggle. No, sorry, wrong one. So we use this one. I think you can find the setting here, hair triple pendulum. Oh, you can't see it. Click on presets here. Click mask. Click on the name. Click the hair triple pendulum. Import, and it's more or less the same. On output, you have to click add. A little window will pop up. Scroll down to the bottom and select. You'll see a folder. It'll look like this. It'll look like this. Just check the box here. It'll select all of the little hair stuff and click OK. And then you'll see it'll pop up here. Just right click scale, edit all values to 10. And your hair already sways. Now it looks a bit blocky and chunky, right? You'll notice here. Very minimal. You can get away with not changing it. But if you're a perfectionist, you can click the little deformers here. At the parameters at the bottom, you see when it deforms, it bends like that awkwardly. You can just click, move it like that. Like that. It's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be. So you just need to do that for everything except the first one. So just the middle and last one. Actually, this one's fine, but yeah. Now, it's instantly much smoother. Do you see that? Now, if you move up and down, by the way, pretend the mouse is someone's head. If you move up and down, you see nothing's happening. What we need to do is create new physics for hair Y. So we only need Y input, position, set it to 50, and these are the settings that I use. So duration 15 seconds and shaking 0.96, 0.95. At output, this is the important part. Remember we made our little settings. So click add over here and the little window will pop up. This little window will pop up. Select both of the ones that we made. You see hair physics 1, hair physics 2. All right. Now, from here, on this side over here, the scale, put it 25, put it 10, and the second one, you click reflect. So now up and down is bouncy. Your hair moves left and right, and it moves up and down. And if you spin in a circle, it'll kind of do both. You know? And there, you have hair. Any questions? Nope, record all as well. Perfect. Now, you're probably used to deforming hair, like with one deformer. What you can do is you can select all of the warp deformers like this individually. And since we use the blend shape, right, you can just add the parameter here. So for example, the hair is to the side. You can just click this and deform them all at once, you know? However you want. It's your rig, right? So, you know? So done. Yeah, that's basically how you do hair. Now rinse and repeat with like every individual chunk of hair and you're golden. You'll notice this is my hair. It works the same way. So yeah. Anyway, this is supposed to be D&D stream. We're always drawn back to the art. And it's okay. Ow. What's that for? Okay, let me just close this. Close this. And yeah. So where is everyone today? Looks like it's just us. Okay, where were we? Okay, we did the abilities. I'm just moving stuff. Okay. Now we basically just need to take all of their stuff. Okay, so divine sense. Paladins able to sense evil. That's about it. So yeah, the presence of strong evil registers like a noxious odor and powerful good rings like heavenly music. You can basically smell evil if you use this. The good thing about paladins is they can also heal, even if they're like damage dealers. Okay, so yeah, paladins have the ability to just like they put their hand on you and immediately you heal, and it also cures diseases and stuff. So yeah, pretty useful. Not the best healers, but pretty great in the middle of a fight if no one else is available. Hmm. Not just played Baldur's Gate. They might actually be able to make their own character and choose stuff. Hmm. Because if you've played Baldur's Gate, you know how to make a D&D character. It's literally the exact same thing. So I think I'll put this aside and ask them later. On to the next one. A seller. They wanted Orc Barbarian. So they are large, big. Yeah, they're large, strong, green. They're basically the Hulk. I don't know how to spell. Okay. Use Orc. Mm, they wanted Barbarian. Let's open the stuff. I use the original rules. I don't use the new ones because I think they're a bit weird and I'm not used to them. Using Dropbox to upload the video there so I can get on my phone. Ah, okay. Well, this will be available on our VOD channel. Maybe a couple days latest. Because it's just a matter of like when I upload it. Because sometimes, usually after stream, I immediately go to bed. Crop the vid to the specific part. Understandable. Yeah, if you ever need like the full thing, it's there. I'm toying around with different campaign ideas. On one hand, I love very deep, intricate plots that are, kind of complex and, that kind of stuff. But I only want to run like a one shot, right? So I'm thinking, maybe a little bit of a generic heroic campaign. Have the model done too? Ah, you want to share with us in the Discord? Awesome. Anyway, I don't think D&D Prep is the most interesting thing to watch. So we can just yap about random stuff. What have you been up to? Because I saw, Kate, you're playing a lot of Final Fantasy. I wonder how it is. Is it worth getting into? Okay, uploaded it. Perfect. Oh, it's adorable. The severed arms is something that always gets me. But you did mention it was intentional. So they just draw hands so off with them. That's probably the most relatable artist thing that I've read today. Like, put it this way, I don't want to draw feet, so mine are covered. I also didn't want to draw hands in a lot of stuff, so a lot of my old art just didn't have hands. You know, today, I was just before stream, I was showing my human friends what I was doing for what I do. So I was showing them VTuber models, and they were confused by the concept. They did get it eventually, but they were very fascinated by the anime cowgirl that I rigged and how bouncy it was in the chest region. Might we do it one more time? Why? So mostly, he's just copy pasting things. I was pretty tired from working all day, so I was thinking maybe I could take a break from art. Ooh, I did see earlier today that Twitch was making some changes to how the stuff works. Apparently, people who just lurk no longer count as like viewers. They get like in terms of viewership, they get flagged as bots. So I thought that was a bit of a strange thing for them to do. But I do understand, you know. I think Twitch does have kind of a bot problem. I don't think for most people, right? But there are some channels here and there that use bots. Mm, so I guess this is their way of trying to like combat that. I don't know how well it'll go because there are a lot of people who just lurk and never chat at all. So yeah, I don't know how recently they implemented it. I only learned about it today, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so Seller's barbarian character. They're basically dumb brute strength. I think an insider said that as long as people redeem the channel points, they would count. Ah, like do you mean like the little green box that pops up every 15 minutes or like the channel redeems? Probably the green box? Ah. Well, just to be safe, we do have the daily sign-in thing. It's probably just speculation. Maybe. It might be one of those things that they implement, then realize it's a bad idea, and then they roll back. Because that tends to happen. I'm not sure what the point of bots are. Because I don't think you get anything from them other than just you have high number. Because then, chat is dead. No one's chatting. No one is subbing. No one's donating. So you're not, getting anything. Why? There's probably a reason that I'm just not aware of. Maybe for ads. But is ad revenue even worth it? Like I'm imagining you would be paying for like those bots. So anything you get from ads would probably not be the same amount. Yeah, it sounds like they're trying us to detect bots, which shows they're just creatively bankrupt. Yeah. I think uh I think Twitch is just one of those things that are kind of like a money sink for Amazon or, Bezos or whatever the parent company is. And they're just trying to see how can we bleed like the least amount of money. Someone is searching for a stream, they're more likely to click on one with a higher viewer count. Yeah, but if like the content is bad, then doesn't really make a difference. You'd probably be far better. You'd probably be far better making like focusing on making content good, making sure that people who do click on stay. But that's just my 2 cents in the matter. Someone who thinks botting is good doesn't think that far ahead. Honestly, you have a really good point. I'm always fascinated about like how this stuff works on the back end. But I imagine that's like very private data because if people understand how it works, if they understand how it works, they can kind of learn how to finesse the system, you know? Looking at get rich quick schemes. Yeah, if something promises to make you rich quickly, I automatically assume it's a scam. It's either a scam or it's a system that works, except it doesn't work for you, it works for the person who's selling it to you. I'm one of the people who have the belief that no one just shows up randomly to give you things. There's always a catch. So if people are promising to just teach you how to make money, yeah. If the access to code becomes really too easy to exploit, not even just the code, right? If someone points out like, hey, it works like this. For example, the little green box thing. If that is the way they can tell if someone is a viewer, right? then whoever makes a bot that can select that little box every 15 minutes. And now you have a bot that gets around their little anti-bot system. So out of curiosity, I would like a, what's it called? I would like to know, but at the same time, I can understand why that information is not public. So it's probably for the best that it's not. But I can send messages in the chat. They tried to chat GPT how they detected. Ooh, yeah. I have seen like some streamers, they talk about like bots in the chat. But those bots basically pretend to be chatters, right? They're sending messages which seem almost human, but are maybe like the slightest bit off, or say things that are maybe not the most relevant to what's going on. So sometimes people can like clock it and be like, "Hey, this person, are you a bot?" or something like that. And if they don't reply or reply something weird, then they're like, The weird thing is, it'll be like streamer who finds like a random bot in the channel, but it's not like they put it there. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is, because I don't believe people just do things for no reason. There must be a reason behind it. So it sounds like the CEO of ChatGPT is afraid of the new version that they're working on. To be honest, now I'm no expert. I'm just a cat on the internet making conversation. I think the only negative effect of like ChatGPT is the effect it has on people rather than Skynet rising. Also, if I wanted to advertise how good something is, I would also like spread a bit of fear, like, oh, this thing is so powerful, this thing is so great that it might turn evil. Like, if something is capable of being a danger, it's probably a very capable thing. So, you know, I don't know if that makes sense. If that's the most coherent way of defining it. I've never liked Chat GPT. Like, I have used it a couple times here and there for stuff. I was even thinking, what if I get some ideas for D&D from ChatGPT? So I'd ask it. It would give me generic garbage. Think more from a human standpoint than an evil standpoint. It might just be hype. That's my 2 cents on the matter. There's always something that is terrible and shocking and hitting our headlines. I think it gets more views, but maybe it's not the most dangerous thing. Now, if someone takes it and does something stupid, like connect it to the world's nuclear arsenal like they did in Skynet, that's less of the computer being, bad, and that's just morons playing around with things they don't understand. Is it to learn code modules that are poorly documented? Half the time it's wrong, yeah. Now, here's the thing. ChatGPT is not designed to be correct. It's designed to sound like a human, right? The way I'd describe it to people who don't really understand is it is the average of every single person on the internet. So it can repeat things that it read somewhere else, but is not smart enough to know what is right or what is wrong. And most of the time, people on the internet are wrong. So yeah, I really don't trust it. Ooh, a corpus horror story. Now, I needed some stuff for my work visa in Malaysia handle, right? And I didn't know how any of it worked. And the company is supposed to do it as a foreigner. Like, since I'm a foreigner in Malaysia, the way things work is you are basically a part of the company that hired you. So I'm an extension of them. I am not an individual who is working there. That's not how it works in like the US or even here in the UK, right? So it's a weird system where you rely on them to do everything for you. Now, I was curious about like how some of the taxes work because they were messing up some stuff, and I couldn't do it on my end. They had to do it. So now I couldn't just leave it alone. So I would do all of the research and give it to them so that they just do the stuff. Now he was telling me something that was 100% incorrect because I had the files of like the policies and everything like in my hand and I was showing it to him. And I was wondering where he got like all of his wrong information from. So I would just ask him. He'd be like, "Oh, you have to do this, this, this." I'm like, "That's not correct. It says here that the government website says you do A, B, C, D." Whereas he's like, "Oh, you're supposed to do X, Y, Z," and then he starts bringing up things like taxes in my home country. I'm like, "That's not even part of the equation. How did that come in here?" He's like, "Oh, I was asking ChatGPT and it was telling me this, this, this," and I'm like, and then I realized, oh, they're basing the entire legal process of what to do and how to make me stay there and not have any problems based purely on ChatGPT. I realized this shortly before I decided to quit and kind of leave because I realized it's a startup company, right? They don't have a legal department. They don't have a HR. They don't have anything. It's literally just three dudes who have never worked corporate jobs before. They graduated and started a company, right? So they don't know how a lot of the stuff works. And they're like, we'll just wing it. When I realized that's what they're doing, it freaked me out and I just like bailed. They were very overworked because they wouldn't hire like a HR department. They wouldn't hire legal. They're like, yeah, we can just do everything ourselves, and then got overwhelmed doing everything themselves. So their solution was, instead of me doing like the research and stuff, like for them, instead of them doing like the research, they would just ask ChatGPT, it'll spit out an answer, and they're like, there we go. So yeah, I have some qualms with ChatGPT. If you know how to use it well, and like it helps you, wonderful. But if it's just like if you're using it as a crutch when for something like you don't know what to do, I frown upon that quite a bit. I use ChatGPT for math tests. That is probably the worst thing you can use it for. Because I had a friend when I was in university, they were doing a test, and that test required doing some math. If you ask it a question, it'll give you an answer. That answer is wrong. If you ask it the exact same question, it'll give you a different answer, even though the question has not changed. So it can be a useful tool, but managers think it can replace senior engineers. You're exactly correct. It is a useful tool. People are trying to use it as a personal assistant, a therapist, an employee, you know? And I think that's where everyone falls short. It's useful as I use it as like a name generator sometimes. I'll just go on. I'm like, I need a name of something. So I'm like, create me a list of 50 names of this. And I click generate. I don't like any of them. Refresh, refresh. It'll give me like 500 answers, which I think are all garbage, but one with a bit of polishing could be fine. Hello, hi. We were doing D&D stuff, but ended up just talking about ChatGPT and AI. Can also be okay at giving dad jokes. Usually because it yoinks them from somewhere. So if that works, that's probably a useful way of using it. Dad jokes. You know what? Ow. M- Maybe we could have a bot. Exclamation dad joke. I'm sure one already exists. I would have to do anything. When I was installing something, I realized it accidentally gave me this command. Hold on. It was one of these. No, wait, I think I got rid of that thing. Was it I think it was Seribot. Yeah, I got rid of it. But yeah, you just do exclamation cat fact and it'll give you like a random cat fact. So actually looking at building a Twitch bot using the APIs for fun. Ooh, what do you wanted to do? Oh, you just not yet there. Coding is hard. I used to okay, I have very basic coding knowledge. And a lot of the stuff that I learned, I've kind of just not used, so it's slowly being forgotten. So a lot of the times if I need to do anything, I'd have to relearn it. For example, you see the little Twitch chat here? I wanted to put like a little bubble behind it. Now, I used to think you just get like the image and you just plug it in behind and magic happens. Turns out you have to code it with CSS and HTML and oof, that was awful. I tried just yoinking someone's code online, but I couldn't get it to work. And I was like, am I really gonna relearn CSS? But one of the people who edits shorts for me, Hot Check, I don't think he's here. He does computer science, so he was looking into it. He got it to work on a CSS, like whatever you call it, testing platform, but not yet on the actual bubble. Worst nightmare. I don't do web development at all. Yeah, I'll be more on the hardware side of things. So yeah, programming and coding, I just touched upon briefly. But how's the world of CS, like computer science? Because I hear it's not doing so great. But I don't know if there's any truth to it or it's just like people dooming about, just everything. I did see someone have a take on it where it's still good, but it's not as good as it was before, maybe like 5-10 years ago, to have like a CS degree. Which is a shame because my younger brother literally just graduated with one. There've been massive layoffs due to AI rollouts. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, truth be told, I feel like AI is probably just a phase. Now, I don't think it'll go away completely, but I think it'll be kind of like it's basically like the new blockchain, right? Everyone was super blockchain, crypto, whatever. Everyone was super hyped about it for a few years, and then now there's basically no mention of it anywhere. I feel like they'll lay off everyone, plug in AI, be like, "Wow, this is so much cheaper and a great idea," and then everything breaks and falls apart, and then they're just gonna hire everyone back. So working for Microsoft, Amazon, Google will be a bad idea? Yeah, you should be like me. I'm a cat on the internet who makes art. Yeah, when AI learns from AI, it gets worse. Oh yeah, I saw there was a yeah, I saw a video of someone who would take an image and say, "Hi Cole, welcome on in." Talk about AI. But yeah, so basically someone took an image and was like, "Hey, make this exact same image with AI." And it'll always look the slightest bit off. And then they took the new image, redid the same thing. So they basically generated the same thing like 100 times, taking the new one each time it was generated. It ended up being this kind of horrific time lapse of the image slowly melting and being deformed and horrific. So yeah, it was AI inbreeding. I think that's like you can try to explain to people, oh, AI learning from AI is bad, and they may not like visually understand why or like understand the concept if they're not from like a technical background. But if you show them something like that, like a time lapse of AI learning from AI, learning from AI, 100 times over, then they'll see in real time the effect and be like, imagine this, but for everything, not just images. I always thought AI was like a cool tool, but I think it was just abused. Like alternate history, everything would have been done right from the beginning. It would be used to supplement humans rather than replace them. And then we'd have a good ending. Ow. Hi. Welcome on in. We're talking about AI. If you've just joined in. Oh, hi, Wally. Oh, he's pooping. Oh, we have ads now. Is there anyone who doesn't have ads? Oop, not me. Ah, I don't know what that is, but I'm happy for you. Hi, Wally. Are you just staring at me as he poops intensely? Character AI? Ah. Is that the one where it kind of simulates the personality of like a famous person or maybe like a character from somewhere? That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about because that kind of AI I think is fine. We're talking about AI that maybe replaces artists, AI that replaces programmers, that kind of stuff. Chat GPT as well. That one I feel inherently it's not evil, it's just a lot of people use it badly. I don't believe tools are ever you know, or bad. It's just how we use them. For example, the guy who made what's it called? The guy who made I think it's called the Harbor process, where you can synthesize nitrogen, right? That guy he made it, and that was the thing that led to the discovery, not discovery, but the way to manufacture fertilizer so you can grow food. But at the same time, that exact same process is used to make explosives. So, the technology is not good or bad. It's just how people use it. I got banned from someone's chat for bringing it up. Maybe they just have a blanket ban on anything AI. I did see I saw there was a musician, right? He works a wait, hold on. We have ads. Maybe you should get into this topic. We'll wait. Because this one's a bit juicy. What would you even use character AI for? Like I know some people they use it because they have like a favorite character in like a specific show. Or maybe a celebrity. But yeah, back to the topic of AI. There's one thing which I thought was pretty interesting, right? Twitch has gotten really diverse with the ads. I only get esports ones, and I really hate that because I don't care about esports. Don't need a new mattress though. They base it on like your search history and everything. This profile, right? This Google profile that I only use it for Twitch streaming and VGen for art. So I think it has no data on me. It only knows that I use Twitch, so it just gives me esports stuff. And it's the same one. It's frustrating. I mute the thing. Ooh, by the way, I had this idea. This topic came to mind during the ads, but I was waiting for it to finish. Use of AI. I saw an artist, right? Musician, right? Because music is an art. The Esports World Cup. Yeah, that one. I hate it. So yeah, I saw he's very public about using AI in his music, but he doesn't use it to generate like the songs and post it because that's what people do. They just have program, make a song, this, make generate the lyrics, shove it out. Apparently, what this guy does is he used the AI to get like the idea, like just the rough concept, and then he makes the full song later because he's like, he's a musician, he's capable of doing that. That feels a bit gray to me, because there are some people who pitchforks and torches AI bad. I don't think that's correct, you know, because it really, really depends. Now, is that completely okay? I don't know. But I think it's a curious debate. Because here's the problem. There's a channel I watch on YouTube that use AI to generate their opening music, but they write the lyrics. That one might be a little bit on the darker shade of gray, because they're not ow. They're not making the music, and the software that makes it uses stolen stuff. What this one musician that I was reading about the other day, by the way, I only did like 5 minutes of reading on like Reddit of all places. So what they do is they generate the music, they listen to it, they get the vibe, and then they recreate it from scratch, like the instrumentals, the vocals, the lyrics. So it's kind of like those artists who they take generate the AI generated stuff and then they redraw it from scratch but better. But that was like the music version of that. And I was like, this is someone using it as like a tool. But most music is stolen aspects to it. Yeah. So instead of ripping off directly from like official like music, he's ripping off from a blend of stolen stuff. Like the AI thing is bad, but he's not using it, he's stealing from it or using it as a reference or inspiration. But yeah, actually there's a lot of that where a lot of songs have like the same rhythms, tunes, and they could even be like many years apart. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being inspired or like, hey, this is close to that one, but it's like its own unique thing. Because that's how the world works. Nothing is ever original. Anything you do is just a mix of a lot of things. Like for example, if you are say you're an artist, you're learning to draw, right? Illustrator. Your style will probably be very influenced from a lot of the stuff that you use to train to do art. Just building off work that other people have done in the past. Exactly. I think in terms of streaming and content creation, I think Ludwig has like the best way of putting it. He calls it the yoinkin twist, right? So whenever something is going, like if there's like a trend or something that's gone viral, like maybe someone did a very unique thing and it was pretty cool. Now, what most people do is they just steal and try to recreate the exact same thing. You'll see this mostly in like every Mr. Beast knockoff ever. But one thing he does is he always sees like, hey, that's a great idea. What if I take that and then sprinkle his own originality onto it? And then it's something that is close enough, but also at the same time, a bit different, you know? That's exactly what they did in the new movie, The Naked Gun. Honestly, I love that movie because they didn't try to just recreate the old one and they didn't make something entirely new. They used the old one as like a foundation, but they added their own aspects and elements to it. It was beautifully done. to the point that I was really, really not expecting it. Like I was shit talking the movie before watching it, before even seeing the trailer. I saw they made a poster of it, and I was like, oh, they're gonna ruin this franchise. So that was the mentality I had when I walked into the theater. And when I walked out, I was like, that was beautiful. That's how you know it's a good movie. I was walked in ready to hate it. So yeah, nothing is ever original. Everything is just either a remix or a little evolution of every little aspect of, the creator. Like it wouldn't necessarily have to be just what's it called? Stuff like maybe the art style. Mm, for example, if you're a writer or a poet, you could be really into maybe something like, you know, Token, can like use his writing style or whatever, but everyone will see yours as unique because a lot of the elements you're injecting are maybe you grew up in a certain country that has very unique folklore and you use that for the basis of, the creatures or the monsters. And it's like, wow, this is very original. Not really. It is maybe like Token style, but with folklore monsters from God knows what corner of the earth. So yeah. But look at how many franchises have been destroyed in the past 10 years. So it is normal. Oh yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, it is the Naked Gun's turn. I don't know how they're gonna destroy it. I walked in ready to cry at the end of it. I did walk out with tears in my eyes, but they were tears of joy. That was a beautiful experience. I want to tell you guys about it, but I cannot. Okay, when doing the hair, what about the hair shadow? Okay, when you're done rigging the entire model, what you do is you take all of the hair, you make a copy, you put it underneath the hair, make it completely black, and set the opacity to 30%. Then do you see mine? You see the little shadow? I only rigged the hair, and then when I'm done, I copied it. I didn't make it black. I made it a little bit reddish so that it gives the same tone as like the shading here. But if you want like a simple shadow, you can make it black or you experiment with color, right? Experiment with the color and yeah, you see it'll move exactly with the hair because it is the hair. It's just a different copy. So yeah. Sorry, giving a life to the advice. But yeah, I was really, really expecting them to ruin it, like a lot of franchises did. That is why this movie has given me hope. Before, right? What people do is this is successful franchise. Let's just take the name, the story, paste new actors, maybe generic plot, and the money will just flow in. We don't actually have to make anything good. But too many times that happened, and now they realized, oh, trying to make like cash grabs just does not work. And as a result, they realize now people actually have to make good movies or no one's going to watch it, even if it's from a beloved franchise. Select all the hair, copy, paste, place underneath, and then recolor. Yeah, recolor to a solid color, maybe full black or whatever shading you want, and then lower the opacity to something like 30-40%. It's as simple as that. Maybe I should make a Life 2D course. Nah, I feel like there's too many of those already. I have seen there's a new Fantastic Four movie. I've not watched it. And I wasn't going to because I was thinking maybe they're just, doing what they always do. But maybe should I have more hope in my heart? Maybe they did it right. I'll look at the reviews because we looked at the reviews for the Naked Gun. It was like 90% positive, and I was still skeptical. So yeah, I'll look at Fantastic Four reviews, then maybe watch it. It was okay, but not good. Ah, okay. Well, I'm a very frugal cat, so I'll just wait for it to come out online. The Naked Gun has a very dear place in my heart So I shelled out the money to go watch it in the theater. Opening day, by the way. Surprisingly, there was only like 7 people in the theater. So I had an 80% drop off on opening week to the next week. Ooh, that's not a good sign. I saw it had Pedro Pascal in it, so that gave me a bit of hope. I didn't know too much about Liam Neeson. Like I knew he's a guy who he makes like serious movies. I don't think I've seen him in anything like comedy related. So I wasn't sure how that's gonna go. But honestly, Chef's Kiss, beautiful work. That's all I can say. Should we watch the trailer? You know what? Let's put on the trailer. I want you guys to see. You know what? Naked Gun trailer. That is what was needed for that movie. To be honest, he did it well. Like he played very serious detective, but in a comedic sense. Okay, let's see if we can wait, do I have the audio for this? Okay. Let's pause that. I hope it's not too loud.
Thanks. Once you kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. A voice in your head saying over and over, "That was awesome."
Who are you?
Drebin. Detective Frank Drebin. Thanks.
Police squad has always been the elite of the elite.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
That part killed me.
And you, Frank, are the best of the best.
I need a bathroom. I need this one immediately.
There's a line, man.
Police business. Oh, I'm gonna ruin another suit.
Over here, Lieutenant. I think someone murdered my brother.
Please, take a chair.
Thank you.
I'll find them. This is what I do. Says you served 20 years for man's laughter.
You mean manslaughter?
Must have been quite the joke.
They're going to shut down police squad if you do not solve this case. Do this by the book.
Show a little respect.
Why? Who's gonna arrest me? Other cops?
Yes.
Is she serious?
Is he serious?
No.
It seems Mr. Drebin might be more of a problem than we thought. I want you to keep an eye on him.
This oven is disgusting.
Rest assured, I won't stop until I've found justice.
What do you want, little one?
Your ass. Nobody messes with the police squad.
We've upgraded your car with the most advanced crime-fighting tech.
Drive forward 30 feet. Pretty smooth.
Oh!
This place is falling apart.
I loved it. The trailer is a lot more. Hold on. Back to the music. The trailer is a lot more serious than the actual movie, but it was beautiful. It was a little less of the original comedy and a bit more like Johnny English, you know, like that style of comedy, very intense, but like with the humor sprinkled in. Yeah. That's the vibe they went with. And honestly, they did it really, really well. So yeah, I do want to talk during the trailer so you guys could see it. Beautiful movie. Totally worth the watch. They also keep in the gags in the background, like Spirit of Halloween banner. Yeah, it's one of those movies that like the it like you'll have two characters walking and talking, and in the background there's like something stupid going on, which is, part of the jokes. So that's something I really liked that they had from the original. They have like that kind of humor from the original series. They've ported it over into the new ones. They keep a lot of like the style of humor of the old ones, but they've just modernized it, and they did it well. It's like looking at the magazine racks in there. Yeah, just background humor. So someone who they're watching like a scene, and then like their attention just slowly goes to the side, is like, wait a minute, I know some friends who they really don't like jokes like that, mainly because they have problems with attention. Because if something is not screaming at them, like their mind wanders. I showed a friend the original Naked Gun movies. She fell asleep in the first 10 minutes, and I don't mean like she was bored and not interested. She straight up passed out. Gotta go already. Bye. Well, thanks for stopping by, Cole. I hope the trailer has inspired you to watch the movie. I love it, and everyone needs to watch it so that I can talk more about it. Bye bye. Have a good night. It looked cool. It was beautiful. Now, I love stupid human movies. Think like scary movie style thing. I get too excited about this movie. You know what? This movie has the honor of going on my annual list of stupid movies to watch. Now, you need to understand, there is no movie after like 2005 that is on that list. So this is one that has been welcomed back into the fold, It has earned its place with the legends. If the old movies maybe like a bit too old for you, because I know sometimes some people just don't like watching old movies. If that's the case for you guys, then I still recommend the new one. Like I said, it's the same style of humor, just very modern. If you love the Johnny English spy movies, the one with the Mr. Bean guy, you will definitely love this one. The only movie I watched in the regular that was done after 2000 is V for Vendetta. I've been meaning to watch that for like the longest time. Is it worth the watch? Well, I imagine if you watch it regularly, I take that as a sign of approval. What is the movie kind of about? Like, I know it has the guys with the masks and all, but that's about it. It's good, unfortunately, seems to be predicting the future. Like the 1984 style. It's a comic movie with a revenge plot. Ooh, I love revenge plots. I've been reading The Count of Monte Cristo, and my god, is the revenge beautiful. Like, it's not like the guy, the protagonist, for those who are not aware, instead of just I'm gonna get vengeance on the people who wronged me, and just showing up in their face and violence and all that stuff, he infiltrates like their inner circle. He has a new persona. They don't recognize him. They think he's dead. He would place himself in their inner circle, be like the bestest friend to all of them, and then slowly inch things or nudge them to the side, to the point like their entire livelihood and everything that they love and cherish just slowly collapses, and they think it's just bad luck and not him. At least so far. I've not finished the book. There's a reason that Edmond Dantes is an Avenger in the Fate franchise? Really? Fate franchise? Is that an anime? It sounds familiar. How? But revolves around. Oh, I think I've heard about this one. There was I don't know if it's this one, but there's one. I think it was an anime or something similar, where I think it was the story of like King Arthur and whatever. I think one of the it was basically waifu versions of like King Arthur's court and all of that stuff. And what they did was what's it called? The VA for one of the characters, they went to I think like the graves of I think like the one of those people from like the story and like apologized for what they did to like their story. That's Fate's Day Night. Yeah. I saw that and I laughed. I thought it was hilarious. Amazing, the tutorial worked. No more hair suffer. I'm glad you managed to finish it in like an hour. Do you see how easy it is once you like know what to do? This is why I always say if you have live 2D questions, ask. I won't sit down and give you like a full course. I literally just say, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and then you'll do X, Y, and Z, and suddenly all your problems just evaporate. The biggest trouble is finding out exactly what that ABC is. Once you already know, everything becomes a breeze. And then there's a bit of practice here and there, but you'll be focusing on practicing and not figuring out how to solve problems. So yeah. Fate Zero, yeah, I think that's why the name was familiar. I think that's the only thing I know about the show, that VA went and apologized at someone's grave for what they did to the story. Ooh, share your model after it's rigged. I want to see. I've barely typed. If you were here silently having a good time, that's all I can ask for. If you're just here vibing, you're doing great. Don't feel like compelled to yap. Yapping is always encouraged, but don't feel like you have to, you have to clock in and do anything. Show up, have a good time. That's all I need from chat, you know? I'm an artist. I'm more of an artist, not really a streamer-ish, you know? All of my monetization and income comes from doing art, doing models. So I honestly don't need anything here. So yeah, show up and have a good time, and that's all the support I need. Just trying to get more hours on Cookie Clicker. Okay.
Ninja Lux Cafe.
We're gonna look at Cookie Clicker experience.
Achievements, from baking 1,000,000 cookies to becoming a god to this. I promised I'd get all of them in a week. This is what happened. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 100 quadrillion. The apocalypse has begun, and I have a dragon. Sorry, there's a lot of time travel involved in baking cookies. I got lost. 4, 5, 6. Every time I click this big cookie,
I've seen enough. It is exactly what I thought it was. Choose the worst VTuber for this. I don't even know who I clicked. I pressed on the first thing that popped up on YouTube. Now, 204 hours of clicking on a cookie. Did you know you can create bots for that? Scylla mentioned grabbing people, so let me give him the grappler feat. Programmed for every achievement. Okay, put it this way. He grinded for that achievement. He made a video. He made content. He was doing something with it, you know? Like, it goes somewhere. Whereas just racking up the hours, I don't think it gets you anything. If it brings you joy and you want to continue doing it, by all means, go ahead. Ow. Hi, Melta. Welcome on in. For quick click, if one of your achievement you can use boss, you have to focus. Maybe it's a mistake that the game exists. By the Moogle was super cute. Thank you. Yeah, it was a commission that I just finished. So yeah, I'm completely pooped when it comes to doing art. So today we are doing D&D prep. So yeah, I decided to do a one shot for our community. So a few people were interested, and yeah. Seems more like a modern fidget spinner or slap racket. Okay, if you have a fidget spinner and they're doing something else, more power to you. But if you're like sitting, just watching the fidget spinner spin and not doing anything else, that may be a problem. D&D slaps? Yeah, I am, I can't get enough of it. In fact, yesterday I was supposed to have a session with friends, but a couple people couldn't make it, so it was canceled. Now, I have a void in my heart, so I need to get my D&D fix, so prepping today is how I'm doing that. I need to be a player. I've been a forever DM for the past 4 years. I've only been a player in like a one-shot / just combat adventure. You know, I am a cat. I was gonna say I have needs, but that could come off the wrong way. I have D&D needs, okay? Forever DM here too. You understand me. You feel my pain. We are united. Normally I do art and I yap, but today I was like, I don't think I have enough in me to do art. So I'm like, what if I do D&D and yap? We've mentioned this before, right? Where I was told that my content is mostly just yapping, so it doesn't matter what goes on in the background. So yeah, whether it's art or D&D, should be the same. And honestly, I feel like it's the same. I neglected just as much. We are underappreciated. Do you know what I did for my players? Wait, is it here? Wait, this is my docs people. Hold on. Wait, it's not on this browser. Hold on. Yeah, this is not on OBS. Hold on. I needed to bribe my players into running D&D. So this is what I made. Hold on. I'm blocking the screen because I don't want to accidentally show something. Okay, here it is. Okay, let me get out the way. For my players, I made them this. I said if someone DMs for like our group, this is a homebrew thing. They basically have like, okay, the way luck works in my game is you have a pool of points. And if you roll like a 5 and you need a 10, you can use 5 of your luck points to add +5 to that roll. So you can add any of your rolls or decrease the enemy's rolls with luck points, right? So that's what this means. So I told them if they run a one-shot campaign, they get a bunch of those points. They get one consumable magic item, and yeah. I'm basically trying to bribe them. I'm like, hey, you guys will get magic items and cool stuff if you host D&D. And I told them if they run a long-term campaign, they get a whole bunch of bonuses. Now, you might, for those who are not familiar with D&D, don't need to know what any of this means. Just know they become stronger. They have bonuses. They get free loot, equipment, blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm trying to bribe them with magic items to run the game. So far, one friend has done it. And yeah, he's like, I was sweating the whole time. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is, do I really care too much about being a player like that? Not really. I want them to run a game so that they can see the amount of work that goes into it and they can appreciate me more. I want everyone to run at least one shot, you know? But every time I mention it, most chicken out. There are 3 people who show promise. One friend has already done it, and he wants to do more. He had like a little mini series. We've done 1 episode so far. The other 2 are like, I would love to do this. I am preparing, and they've been preparing for like a year. I think they're just too they're too focused on making it perfect. And I keep telling them, D&D is not about making a perfect game. It's just showing up, doing bullshit with friends, and calling it a night. So yeah. There is, if you're watching like D&D shows, those ones are like high budget. There's proper writing, you know, professional grade writing. The people playing are professional actors, voice actors, comedians, you know. The quality of their stuff is like top tier because it's like their job. Whereas if you're playing D&D with friends, you're just goofing off. And, you know, if you're able to, you know, play a character like that perfectly, hats off to you. But it's just a little cherry on top. It's not a requirement. But it's nice meeting another DM. I don't know many. In fact, I don't know any at all. The only people, my only D&D friends are people I know like IRL. Ooh, so this is my Roll20. I want to show this off to another. Only another DM can appreciate this. So, hey, come back. Now, you have world lore. Now, do players remember anything? No. Do they make notes? No, they do not. So what I did is, I have the world. Ow. I have a little folder here called World's Lore, right? Each of these folders is a different world, different campaign setting. So I have this one, Talus. This is basically just generic vanilla fantasy world. Ow. So here is a medieval fantasy world filled with magic, adventure, occasional dark conspiracy. So it's just very medieval fantasy, focuses on magic, right? Then you have gods and religions. This person, god of order, this one, god of strength, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, no one's going to read this. They don't have to. Why? Because over here, you'll see recaps. Say, session 3. Hold on, not this one. Yeah. If they open this thing, this is a summary of what happened. They're like, blah, blah, blah. The party fought angelic abomination. Someone will be like, what the hell was that again? They just click on the link, and to them, it'll pop up this thing. Oh, this monster? Right, I remember what they were. Right? Scroll down. They're like, oh, upon returning to the Adventurers Guild. Who are they again? Click on it. This is the Adventurers Guild. All of their knowledge, all of their stuff, you know, how it works, their rules, etc. And even people, oh, like this, the city of Caston, like, where the hell is that? It gives you a blurb. I basically made like the little wiki page where everything is just, you know, linked upon each other. So you can read it one by one, but the most important thing is just, you know, over here where you can just click on it and see, oh, who is that person again? They click on it and everything pops up, you know? It'll give them like a knowledge. And from here, you can just continuously go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. So yeah, I want to show off that. It took me a while to do. Totally worth it. I did D&D with some random people who invited me from a Twitch chat. I helped gather more people. I was confused for most of it, but had fun, played a bard. See, you don't need to know anything that's going on. If your table is beginner friendly, don't stress about it. And that sounds like fun. As soon as I saw you did D&D with random people, a part of me was like a bit ready to read a horror story, but I'm glad it worked out. I guess if it's from people in a Twitch chat, maybe you were there and familiar with them a bit. I don't know, but that's what I'm assuming. My head canon, you know. The reason I'm a forever DM is I wanted to play D&D when COVID started. I was watching some streamers play it. It was, I think it was offline TV, right? If you're familiar, I saw them playing D&D, and that was the first taste of, that was the first taste of D&D I ever saw. Because you know they needed something to do during COVID, so after that I was like, that looks super cool. I want to try. I want to play, you know. And I went on Roll20 to look for a random game to join, and then I'm like, click apply. Do I join a group of random people? And I realized, nope, I'm too nervous for that. So instead, what I did was I got all the rule books. I read all of them. I tried to teach myself how to play, and then I go to my friends one by one. I'm like, hey, have you ever played D&D? They're like, no. And I'm like, do you want to? And they're like, sure. And yeah, that's how I roped in my friends, and then we played D&D for the first time. That table has expanded and contracted over the years, but generally has like the same crowd from the beginning. You know, like there's some players who are there like from day one. But yeah, good times. That's how I made my current D&D table. Now the thing is, at that table, I really put an emphasis on just showing up and having fun. There's some people to this day who do not know how to play. Like they know the rules vaguely and how to run their character, but a lot of the time it's just like vibes based, and they ask, hey, can I do X, Y, and Z? I look at their spells list. Yeah, this one can do that. Back again, Ish. Welcome back. Talk about D&D and how the pain of being a forever DM. Honestly, I do like being a DM. It is fun, but it's always nice to switch things up. I was showing off to Melta my little wiki that I made. I'm very proud of that one. I'm almost done with Seller's character. My voice is a little tired from the yapping. But it's always good to yap. I like yapping. He needs health. But I wonder if there's anyone else here who's played D&D. I don't know anyone who plays D&D in real life. Understandable. It is, okay, it did have a recent uptick in popularity, like a recent spike in popularity. But I still think it's not the most common thing. So maybe finding people IRL is a bit hard. The reason, okay, at the time, all of these people were people who were like physically with me. The reason being is I didn't find people who already played D&D. I took people who have never played and I introduced them to it. It is fun. I think it's a bit of a different experience if you're what's it called? I hear everyone says playing in person is always like way, way, way better compared to online. I think I've only had like one game in person. I did like it a bit more. Because what we did was, again, we used Roll20. So instead of everyone having like the one board in the center, it's just everyone sat in the circle and everyone had their laptops out. So we're doing the exact same thing we do when playing online, except we were just in the same room. That was pretty cool. Because, you can see people in real time. And as the DM, like if someone says something and I'm like, they know they're on to something. Ooh, which reminded me. I have this as the starting soon screen. I added this little thing. See that? Oh, we're being raided. It says when the DM smiles, it's already too late. Hello, hi. Sorry, we're not starting soon. I was just showing them the screen. Hi, hi. Hi, Bellflower. Welcome on in. What are you guys up to? We were doing D&D, but D&D in quotes. We were yapping about everything from the game itself to art to AI. So yeah, we're mostly a just yapping channel with whatever happens in the background. So yeah. Ow. So yeah, I am Ordikai. I am Purple Cat. I do mainly art. Um, I make mascot models. So these little goobers on the side, that's usually what I do day in, day out. But I was a bit tired from art and rigging. So today I'm like, we're going to rest, relax, and just yap and do some D&D. So this is, oops. So this is a campaign I'm running for our little community here. We have a TTRPG section in our Discord. So yeah, I decided to run a one shot and a few people were interested. Hold on. Let me put that up there. Thanks for the follow. Oh, you're also doing D&D stuff. Sorry, I remembered the shout out tells me. A fellow nerd. Welcome on in. You'll fit in perfectly here. So yeah, these are people who have never played D&D before. And I think the closest is they've played Baldur's Gate. So they know kind of how it works. So yeah, I'm gonna be running a very beginner friendly one shot. You just wrapped our D&D sesh as well. Tell me about it. If you want to, unless it's a private thing. This is permission to info dump the world lore. God knows I love world lore. I have giant sheet of every. Well, hold on, I'm behind it. I have giant sheet of lore. This is the world, the religions, the organizations, the locations, everything. Ooh, a fun thing that I show this off to every D&D person now who pops in. I have basically a little wiki here. And now most players would never read it, so like, why would you make that? I have a little section for recaps over here. So all of the little sheets I made for the lore, they link to stuff. So for example, notable people, you can click on it and it'll show the bio. On the bio, it says, oh, they're from this place. You click on that, gives you lore of the city. The city is ruled by 7 divines. Who are they? They are the gods. All of them are listed. You can click on each one. It gives you all of their lore and everything. You can go down a rabbit hole like this. It's like a Wikipedia page. So I'm very proud of that. Heck yeah, newbies love teaching new players. I do too. You know what my motto is? Whenever someone is like, I don't know, I've never played before. I'm like, you only need to bring yourself and your enthusiasm, and that's it. When the 20th session of my homebrew campaign, lots of silly billies running around. that respect for it to run like 20 sessions. I feel like I have the same group of people, but we always break it up. So like each campaign lasts maybe like 10-ish sessions, right? Give or take. I've only started keeping the recaps recently. So yeah, we started from D&D 4. Yeah, campaign concluded. Well, I love lore, 2 scatterbrains from my notes, but I love that. Yeah, hey, you're always welcome to show up one day. Anytime. We're doing art, we're doing yapping, we're doing it. Just be like, hey, I have a D&D lore to dump. You're more than welcome. In our chat, we have D&D enthusiasts. We also have writers who they love the stories even if maybe they're not interested in playing. So yeah. I hope you feel at home here. So I was just making the characters. We have Paladin, we have Barbarian, we have what is Orca again? I forgot what they chose. And I forgot to write it down. Nope, they wanted wizard. I remembered. They wanted to be a frog wizard who does necromancy. Lore, my beloved. Okay. I am a huge fan of the Brandon Sanderson novels. Now, one of the things that really, really drew me in is the world building and the magic systems. I love it more than anything. Do you know? He's my favorite author to the point that we have a bit here on the channel where every time I mention it, we have a counter. Right? This is 33 times since we started counting, not even the beginning. Right? So I love the amount of world building and lore that he does, to the point that whenever I try explaining it to chat, I always bring up the same thing. Hold on. Where is this thing? Hold on. I have the Sanderson chart. I think it's in Sanderson yapping. Yeah, I have like when explaining like the world to people in chat, I always bring up this chart and talk about like the different world magic systems. His story goes into this world has this sort of magic system, blah blah blah. You know, I info dump to my chat and they scream and cry, but I don't stop. But yeah, as you can see, I am a bit of a fan. I have read all of the books, at least all of the Cosmere books. So yeah. You're always welcome to dump lore here. And anything I really like, I may yoink. Respectfully. Like if you're like, this is an empire with a very specific thing and blah blah blah, I'd be like, I like the one part where there's a immortal emperor, and yoink that idea. I will ask permission though. But I love lore. In fact, all of the world lore that I've built for this world has just been for me. I don't think any of my characters know anything about it. But I love doing that. I love mainly from like books, movies. I'd be watching it and maybe there's like one personality trait. I'd be like, you know, if you just took this thing, this one piece, and fleshed it out into a character, it would actually be something something beautiful. Say, how'd your game go? You said you've just finished a session. I know I always feel very tired and dead after that. So I hope you get the rest you need. It is always fun, but sometimes tiring. All right, I was giving them health. One of my homebrew rules is you know how this works, where you either take like the flat value or you roll for it. what I do is I roll for the dice and only take a value that's above this number. That way, my players, if someone has really bad luck, they don't have a very sickly character who has very low HP. You know, the worst you can get is average. So yeah, that's a little something that I do. I think it's fun because I like my players being tough simply because I can make super tough enemies. I really love making boss level monsters. B15. Should be D12. Did I have to verify my account? I think I've done. Oh, you mean on Discord? Yeah. It's just to stop bots and things like that. Hmm. Hold on, I have to do basic math. Hi, Julian. Hi, baby. Okay. 41 plus 12. That is 53. One, two, three. Okay, one more. Nope, too low. Nope. 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 Okay. 68. Okay, there we go. It must be a bot then. All unverified. Wait. All bots are unverified, but not all unverified are bots. Okay. His health is done. Okay. There we are. I think he just needs equipment. Oh, we reached our follower goal. Beautiful. Say that because when I first tried to verify, the website wouldn't load. Okay, if there's any issue, and like you can't verify, I'll talk to my mod who runs the Discord and he'll just like give you the verified role. I had to click a trust link from website or something. Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on. To see unverified somewhere. Oh, I think you got it verified anyway. I thought it was still unverified. I think I could have just, approved it on my end. Okay. Okay, we're just giving him his equipment, so great axe. I don't know about the new 2024 rules, but just to keep things simple, at my table we just use the OG 2014 ones. I saw they have the new sheet for the new 2024 rules on Roll20, but that sheet is like super buggy and janky. So I've actually banned it at my table. I tell my friends, hey, if you're making a character sheet, we use the original ones. Because it doesn't load, none of the API stuff works on it. Now, Roll20, what they do is whenever they have new features for like a while, it's super buggy and doesn't work. And then one day they just optimize it and it's beautiful. I think one of my first rolls against an enemy in one single action I did was I rolled over 30 with bar stuff. Ah. Different tables have different rules, but super high rolls doesn't necessarily mean automatic success. Like you could be very persuasive, right? Like for example, if you have like if you go up to the king and be like, hey, you should just renounce the throne and assign me as your successor. Trust me, bro. And you roll a nat 20. Nat 20 being successful just makes the king laugh and be like, oh, you're so funny, you and your jokes. If you're really trying to overthrow me, I'd have to kill you. But it's a great thing that we're just laughing and friends, you know? That's what a really good role will get you, rather than you brainwash people. The only time where it's an automatic success is in combat. That's the official rules. Nat 20 is automatic success only for attack rolls. And I think saving throws. Hi, Kate. Thanks for the head pats. So yeah, it's a rule that most people don't realize. They think nat 20 means instant success in anything. So yeah. Now there are some tables that they do that. Nat 20 in a skill check is a success, but you know, to each their own. I always go with vibes. Like, does this make sense? If no, then I'm like, nah, it doesn't work. Okay, we gave him the great axe. He doesn't have armor because he's a barbarian. Or can I fully say that you would love Final Fantasy 14? You can say it, but I don't know if it'll be true. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. If I'm to play Final Fantasy 14, I don't think I'll play it on my own. I think I'll play it as a tourist. If some people are playing and like I can join them just for like fun, I can see myself playing it. But just by myself, I don't think so. As a game that, what's it called? You can sink a lot of hours into, that kind of frightens me off a little bit because I don't have too many hours to sink, if that makes sense. So have you gone through my character yet? Not yet. I think I did a bit of Nadia, but I realized they play Baldur's Gate. They might know how to make their own character. And I think I'm mostly done with Cellar. I'm mostly going like in this order. So you're like at the back of the queue, but I can always move you up if you want. Because I think I'm done with sellers. You can play this game for hundreds of hours alone. Yeah, that's what scares me. That's the problem. It's not a bug, it's a feature, and that feature I don't know if I'm be willing to sink hundreds of hours into it. That's the sad thing. I don't have the time. I wake up, I work on models, I run my errands, I do stuff, and I go to bed. And on the days, I stream before bed. Yeah, one of the people in the D&D group thingy I was in drew my character. She's a good artist. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I know there's some people who every campaign they're in, they always draw the characters. I tried doing something like that. I have this. Hi, hi Nadia. Ooh, this could be dangerous. But yeah, this is the art for the D&D table. Right? So all of this is probably D&D campaign 1 to like 2. After I got to like that point, I'm like, okay, we have too many campaigns and too many characters. I don't think I can draw them all. Maybe one day, but I did get tired. So yeah, this is like everyone's characters. I think it's super cute. I love it. Hi, Nadia. I'll post it in the art channel. Ooh, thanks for sharing. When I broke Twitch for a second, I sent a screenshot on Discord. Okay. I was distracted by the dog in the pet implant spam. Anyway. You are just viewing the source of some stuff. You've not broken it. You're just looking at the code of the website. Look at the HTML. It's all good. Oh, I see the art. It's adorable. Okay. Let me like these. Beautiful. I think some people who are playing the one shot, they want to draw their own characters. Wait. Crap, I can't open it back up again. I want to show off something. I've been playing for almost 2,000 hours. The forever DM curse is real. Okay, where was I? I'll be nice and give everyone healing potion. Yep, just potion of healing, and maybe each person gets 3 of them. That's good that, yeah, you didn't break it. You can just close the browser, open it again. It'll be fine. Or close the tab if it opened a new one. Ooh, this soundtrack is from one of my favorite animes. It's called Freerun. Beyond Journey's End. Now, it's one of those like fantasy adventuring shows, but it's not about the people going to go fight the demon lord. This takes place after they were already defeated. The protagonist is an elf. They're immortal and don't age, so they're just like vibing. To them, killing the demon lord was like another Tuesday, whereas the others is like the event of their lifetime. And it's just them getting old and then dying of old age in the beginning, and then she's just learning to like wander through life, you know, being an immortal elf. Like, people's lives are very brief. How does that make me feel? So yeah, it's a beautiful show, beautiful soundtrack, very wholesome. Okay, who's next? Orca. They wanted a Orca race, but I think I might just reskin lizard folk because they're pretty close. I can't remember what class they wanted. I could have sworn I wrote it down. Whoops. Okay, moving on. I remember Terra. They said they wanted a necromancer wizard. I thought Gripply was a playable race. Okay, I could have sworn I had this. It might be in my stuff. Being a bard and an incubus is a fun combo. Ooh, that sounds like a really good combo. Gripply, here we are. At my table, however, we are PG-16. We don't do ERP. Like, you can flirt and whatever with the NPCs, that's okay, so long as it's like pretty tame. I did put a ban on flirting with other players because this is the first time a lot of people are playing with each other. So to make sure no one is accidentally uncomfortable. Yeah. So I always like to I have like the table rules and stuff just to keep things like smooth, you know. Hmm. I have an idea for this. Extract text, because I'm not gonna type all of that. Now, when I did seduction, okay, that's a bit of a broken thing. But hey, if you had fun and it was allowed, sure. Because think about it. If you have a bard who just is maximum charisma, you just walk into the boss and then you just tell them that and problem solved. I encourage creativity. But I don't allow broken things. A lot of the spells, right? A lot of the mind control ones, they always include this. Hold on. Wait, let me just paste this in. Let me show you. I think the spell is Gias. So this is basically mind control spell. I think this one has it. Yeah, you can issue any command you choose, short of an activity that'll result in certain death. Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends. Like, this is a very important part in a lot of things in D&D. Yeah, you can't tell things to murder themselves. As a rule of thumb. Oh, Nadia, you're here. You've played Baldur's Gate, right? Do you know how to make characters Do you want to make your own, or are you fine with me pre-making the Paladin Oath of Conquest for you? Because I can make it, and then like you can change up the spells very easily. So up to you. If you want to make the character yourself, you're more than welcome to. Because I was thinking, oh, everyone here is new. Let me make it for them. Then I remembered, oh, right. Nadia mentioned playing Baldur's Gate. If you played Baldur's Gate, you know how to make a character, generally. But if you want, do you want me to make it for you? Or shall I'll make an outline. It'll be better to balance. Yes, if you can just say, hey, I want like a character who's tanky, does damage dealer, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And then I can optimize a character for you. But if you want like to make them very specifically, you are always welcome to. If you're on if you go to Discord, the thread for this campaign, there is the invite link for Roll20. I don't know if you've ever clicked on it before. I think I can give you permissions. Hold on. No. If you click on that thing, then you'll be part of the game, and I can give you permission to like edit the token. So yeah, if you want to change it yourself, you can let me know. But you mentioned Paladin Oath of Conquest, so I'm assuming frontliner, taking damage and dealing damage. So yeah, I think mainly just choice of spells would be the main thing. So yeah, I'll just put a bunch, and if you have any particular spells that you want, let me know and I'll include them onto the character. Orca's not here today, right? I'll just ask what I don't know why for some of them the class thing was empty. Ooh, I see this. You can breathe in air and water. Reminded me. Once I had a little one shot with some friends. Combat session. No plot, no nothing. Just I throw in monsters. You throw in your characters, and then they just test out their abilities and fight. I had one where it was an underwater thing, and they had like a breathing spell, a water breathing spell, right? So when the enemies wanted to fight them, they didn't even focus on fighting the characters. My table, what they did was they just dispelled the water breathing spell and were like, okay, they're gonna drown. We just have to sit and watch. Okay, I'm in. Perfect. Wait, hold on. Sorry, my brain just lagged. There we are, and save changes. So you're able to edit like the token if need be. Honestly, if there's nothing specific, yeah, you can just let me know and I'll make the character for you. But on the little thread, you can just make like a list of spells that you like you would want, like definitely to include, and then I can just add them to your sheet. Okay, and prehensile tongue. That's what I'm forgetting. I felt there was one more. This is one of my favorite singers who does fantasy music. This guy is called Chase Noseworthy. Very talented. If I ever play D&D again, I'm gonna be a rad. Respect. I always play very slippery characters. Slippery in the sense that they can escape anything. I may not win a fight, but I will definitely not be killed. Last character I played was a mafia rat. That's funny. He died? Well, there's always Mafia Rat Jr., his son, who has the exact same stats, except he doesn't have a mustache. And it's a completely different character. Not at all the exact same one that just passed away. And since he's the son, he inherits all of the loot that the dead father dropped, so... I had a friend who did that. They're like, canonically, they have like a child who is already grown up, so that if my character dies, I want to leave everything to them, so that I play the new character who has the same stats, and I just take the stuff. By the way, that player had never lost a character, even once. Hmm. Do I launch the game to look at the sheet? Not necessary. Because the sheet is blank right now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They don't have it here. I think I can go custom. I think this is a homebrew one. Hi, Orca. Welcome on in. +2 con, +1 dex. Okay. Oh, Orca. What class did you want to play in D&D? Because I realized I accidentally didn't write it down. So I was trying my best to recall what people wanted from memory. Wi-Fi stinky? Can you hear my voice? If you are present, give us a sign. Speak, apparition. It's so laggy for me. Oh, so sorry. What class for your D&D character did you want? Because I remember the race you wanted an Orca one. Because I'm making the character. Oh, sorry. Why for blame Ordi? I have never done anything wrong. I am not responsible for the poor internet of the world. Okay. I am innocent. So yeah. What race? Sorry, no. What class did you want your character to be again? Because I think the only one whose was written down was Seller. I can't hear anything. Wait. What class did you want again? It's Orca. Orca is the race. Class, lying, wizard, barbarian, cleric, etc. It is the original, not 2024. Oh, me is a druid? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Thanks for that. Okay, I remember now. You wanted druid and you wanted them to be Circle of the Stars. I remember now. Circle of the Stars. Perfect. Yeah, the moment you said druid, like all of the memories just flooded back into me. Good. Yeah, I don't know what the new rules are. I heard they were a bit janky. They're not good? Okay. Well, we're safe from them because we just don't use them. Oh, right. We were doing wizard. Okay, that's pretty good. Nope, that's all I needed. I recall everything. I don't know why my brain just blanked because I was thinking, what was it again? As soon as you said druid, I remembered the all of the description about the space themed, and I told you Circle of the Stars, which is star magic. Perfect for you. So yeah, all good, all good. All right, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, sorry, I wrote it down. Or at least I thought I wrote it down. You know, over here it says like the class and stuff, but I don't know why. For yours, Sella and Terra, it was blank. Bye bye. Thanks for stopping by. And take care. Mm. I think they wanted conjuration. They wanted necromancy because they wanted to be like ooh, raise the dead and all. I don't know if that's what's best for subclass. Hold on. Hold on, we're nerding out. Ooh, okay, this one. Ooh, okay, this is pretty good if they want to be a necromancer. Yep, I'll give them the necromancy one. Because I think they wanted to raise the dead. I don't know how. I personally am not the biggest fan of raising the dead or summons in D&D, simply because it's a bit of a hassle, but it's still doable. So I don't like ban it. Pet classes. What do you mean by that? Oh, you know what made me laugh the other day? I think on Feather's Discord, I posted a picture of my cats on like the little pet channel, and he pointed out that he had to explain to some people that the channel is for actual pets and not human pets or humans with a pet kink, and that killed me. Play one character, have a bunch of extra tokens for pet skeleton staff. Ah. The thing that trips me up is a lot of them are like, hey, the health is like this plus the spell level plus this bonus plus that. It's not like a set value. Sometimes. Wait, that's for summoned creatures. What about animated ones? Hold on. Is anime dead different? Okay. The target becomes blah blah blah. The DM has the creature's game stats. I have no problem with this. You know what? More people should go into necromancy than summoning the dead. Than summoning creatures from a different plane, because those ones are always like the HP is like 20 plus this modifier plus the spell level plus this plus that. It gets a bit confusing. Oh, but this one just uses the zombie or skeleton. Okay, I'm happy again. I do have a okay. We used to have some pets in my campaign one. Like someone found a pig and they decided to adopt it as a pet. It was caught in a fireball when the party was attacked. Yeah, that pig died immediately after the fight. The person who owned it was it's like I sob and cry over the death of Mr. Jiggles, which is the name of the pig. It's like as I wipe away the tears, I take out my knife and I start harvesting the bacon. No need to let the meat go to waste. Hi, Hot Shack. Welcome on in. We're doing some D&D prep work today. So yeah, I decided to run a one shot for some of the people in the community. I posted it. I think I talked about it like a while ago. So it's like, hey, whoever's interested in running or playing like a one shot, like a one session long game, and a few people showed interest, and now here they are. I'm just making the characters for them because they're new players who have like never played before. It won't be streamed. It's an offline thing. Maybe on Discord. I'll ask people and see what they think. But yeah, I think it'll just be like an offline thing. It'll be like in the VC. Maybe some others can join in if they want. If they want to like see but not play. So I don't know how it'll work yet. All I do know is like I'm not streaming it because again, this is for like the community, and maybe not everyone is, you know, how do you say this, interested in being live. So yeah. Besides, I think there's a lot of live D&D stuff. I don't need to add to that. So I'm mostly just setting up the stuff. It's just stuff happening in the background while we yap about things. My voice is getting a bit tired. I like the head pat emote. I might yoink it and make one. In fact, no, it's fine. Ooh, I have I made a new emote, right? You did it backwards, but that's the one I was talking about. Now, there's some people who hate getting compliments. So, if you look at this emote here, the one that Kay tried to use, it says, you are appreciated, you know? Hold on, let me grab the chat box. It says you are appreciated. It's kind of tiny, but you see what it is, right? Now, there's some people who absolutely hate people saying nice things to them, you know? Banter and insults, they can take it like a champ. That's where they're comfortable. But to say, "Hey, you're doing a great job," immediately they don't know what to do. They lock up, they freeze, they cry. So yeah, this is a spell that I have devised to give them psychic damage. If you look at the thing, it's even spelled like the emote name is called Psychic Damage 1, Psychic Damage 2. I made this because I want to use it in a Feather's chat just to bother him. I hate nice things. I'm not sure why. Some people like that. They hiss at like compliments. So yeah. No one tell him. I want to be the one to use it, and no one use it before I do. Just take a little break from the yapping. My voice is a bit tired. Hmm. Okay, picking spells is a bit time consuming. Hmm. I think I'm a bit tired, so we are gonna call it a day here. So, thanks everyone for stopping by. I know it's a little bit of a deviation from the normal art stuff we do here, but yeah, we're just having a little nice calm day today. And yeah, we'll probably get back to rigging next stream, which is day after tomorrow. So, thank you all for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. I don't think we'll raid into anyone today. I want to just go straight to bed. So, yeah. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.